I really wanted to redirect this stream to today's stream. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Give me a minute to get settled. I got a couple of Florida stories. I really wanted to, I don't know what's going on with the redirecting. I wanted to redirect. I have a stream coming up today at 5 p.m. I think. And so I was trying to get it to redirect. So when this ends, it goes there. But now I don't see the option. It's gone. That's okay. I'll just put the link in and you guys can join later. What's up, Sarah, Jen, Lisa, Doja, Sarah? Let's make sure we're on Facebook. Are we live? We are live. Are we live? Are we live today? Yes, we are. Okay. Okay, man. Okay. Oh, I meant to put in the tags too. I gotta put in the tag. I do a bunch of stuff. I'm not even ready. Ready for a live. Put in the tags. How you guys doing? Good morning. Oh, I found it. I found the redirect. Amazing. Okay, so when this stream ends, you guys just hang around after the end because the video is going to take you to my next live stream, and just set the reminder if you want to join in. The 5 p.m. stream is going to be focused on one story. And so when this ends, you'll be taken straight over there and just hit set a reminder, hit like, because that other story is pretty interesting. I also want to put in the tags for this video. So there's a couple of stories. There's the stories that I'm going to share with you guys this morning. They're all,
welcome to Ray.
I believe they're all South Florida stories. And I want to share this video out too. Look, first couple of stories are men that were drugged by women. Some are recent, some are a little bit old, and they're kind of interesting. Let me get the tags going on here. And then we got a virtual kidnapping thing. Well, is it kidnapping? What was it? Is a virtual, where's that everything? Yeah, a virtual kidnapping scam. It's a new thing that they're doing. And also the FBI put out an alert that scammers are now targeting families of missing persons. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too. And I have this interesting video from a Miami hotel where these women, the hotel clerk let a random person into the room, and it's kind of weird. So we're going to get into that too. Okay, we got the tags going. Boom. Save it. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for stopping by. Get my little Celsius. A little caffeine. Patty from Jacksonville. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. So let's get started. Let's get started. I'm trying to find the best screen. Let's do zero space. So this first one is from one of the Fort Lauderdale ones where this Nova student was drugged and robbed of his phone during a night out. I'm going to play the video. And then you guys tell me your thoughts. The stories today, it's just a couple of videos that we're going to go through. Some interesting ones. PSAs. Be cautious. Even men are being targeted. And then just to let you guys know that there's a 5 p.m. stream tonight, or this evening, 5 p.m. Eastern, that you want to come check out. Thank you, Johnny, for sharing. Appreciate that.
And now one just went station a night out on the town, ending in a nightmare when a South Florida man says he was drugged and robbed.
Now he's speaking exclusively with 7's Nicole Ensalada about the frightening experience.
And this was May 25th. This was posted. 2021. Morning, Lisa.
I had a good friend of mine from Ohio actually come in town. You know, the plan was for us to hit a couple bars in the area.
So this Nova Southeastern University dental student, who asked not to be identified, took his friend to the wharf in Fort Lauderdale the night of May 7th. Although he says they met up with some fellow students, nothing seemed out of the ordinary until everything became a blur.
At some point in the night, someone was pointing me towards an Uber.
Somehow separated from his friend, he got in. 2 women he says he's never seen before in the front seat. Looking back, he thinks someone booked an Uber on his phone but canceled it. But now the women had his address and his phone.
They knew my name. They knew where I was headed back home. I just started to notice they were saying pretty strange things. It seemed like they were sort of talking about me rather than to me.
He says he remembers the woman in the front passenger seat climbing to the back seat, unzipping his pants and exposing him. Once the women dropped him at his plantation apartment, he says that woman followed him inside.
Once I sort of like woke up or came to, I got like an adrenaline rush. I was like, you need to leave. I was more so just thinking, wow, like I just got molested in my Uber home. That was awful. I'll probably keep that secret till I die.
Jen said a friend of mine and his uncle were drugged at a bar in Florida. Damn. Thankfully, that's never happened to me. You know, I mean, the place that this guy was at, let's see, it's called the Wharf. Fort Lauderdale. An event place. It's like a popular place out there in Fort Lauderdale.
But it wouldn't be that easy. His phone was gone. He later learned all his passwords changed. Thousands of dollars drained from several of his.
What I was wondering about this too, what happened? Where did his friend go when these 2 women came to him? I guess put something in his drink. And I also wonder, how do these people know the exact dosing, or what are they giving? I was thinking GHB maybe, but what are they giving that they know the right dose of not incapacitating somebody fully? But they're confused, they're dazed, and they're going along. So they're suggestive. They're in a highly suggestive state to where you can kind of tell them, hey, come on, come with me. Hey, I'm just going to take your phone. Hey, go to your house. You know, we're going to take it, you know, in that kind of state.
Payment share.
Dragon's Breath. Yo, I was thinking about that this morning and I couldn't remember the name. Maybe towards the end of the stream, we can watch a little thing about Dragon's Breath. You think that is I wonder what's that made of? Isn't that like a plant or something? Dragon's Breath. We could check that out for sure after we watch these videos. I think it's Dragon's Breath. Isn't that what it's called? Or something. Was there a Spanish name for it?
Apps. In fact, his bank now shows a balance of negative $499,441.17. He's spent weeks trying to access his own accounts. Just this weekend, 3 women victimized a Delray Beach man, also unlocking that man's phone and stealing thousands of dollars. The Nova student says that encouraged him to tell his story.
I really do think this is the new crime wave. You know, people my age aren't carrying over $40 in our wallet. That's not what they're after. The most expensive thing we're carrying on ourselves nowadays is our phone.
I don't think it's called Dragon's Breath. There's something with a funny name that they're using in another country. I thought Colombia or something. Like this plant or something, like this powder. They just blow it in your face or something. All you have to do is breathe it in, and you become highly suggestive to whatever the person tells you to do. You know, you can literally take them back to your house. You'll give them all your money. If anybody remembers the name of that, what I'm talking about, post it in the chat. I'll try to. Scopolamine. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Devil's Breath. Devil's Breath. So scopolamine is an actual drug, but it's called Devil's Breath. And that we'll see if we can pull up, because I thought that was interesting. After we watched these videos of these people that were drugged somehow, we'll watch this.
In the password.
So he is still trying to sort out all of his accounts. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department is conducting an investigation. If you know anything about this, give a call to police. Reporting in Fort Lauderdale.
Spanish Fly is an interesting conversation because of the whole Charlemagne the God thing. Spanish Fly, I did a live stream one time with a friend. Spanish Fly doesn't incapacitate people. Like it doesn't. It's just like an aphrodisiac. It's like, I believe it's just like kind of like or over the counter herbal supplement kind of mix. It's not something that it's gonna like make you pass out. It is wrong to slip somebody that to make them, you know. This is another Fort Lauderdale story, and this is just in January 2021. So the first one we watched was May. This one's from January, and it's in Fort Lauderdale also. And check out this one. From London! What's up? Amy said devil's breath is derived from the flower of the borrachero shrub, common in the South American country of Colombia.
Now on just one station, a South Florida man regretting his night out.
His day turning into a financial nightmare. 7's Vanessa Medina live in Fort Lauderdale, where the couple met. Vanessa.
That's right. That's an understatement. He claims he was trying to help this woman while she helped herself to his bank account.
There's a bunch of people pulling all kinds of scams out there.
And then he came down with COVID. Take a good look at this selfie. Police want to speak with this woman after a 52-year-old Fort Lauderdale man says she drugged him and then robbed him.
For me, it's such an embarrassing situation. And they have people, that is what they do.
We are calling him Eddie. He doesn't want to reveal his identity. He says he was out on Las Olas with a friend January 3rd. He was sitting at the bar at Piazza Italia.
Me and him, we talking. And this woman wasn't sitting in the bar. So my guy called, hey, how you doing, blah, blah. So she started talking to us. She said, you know what, I just came from LA or some place, and my have 3 kids.
Morning.
In the hotel.
After hearing the story of the 3 kids, Eddie says he went to an ATM to give her $100, and he believes she saw his passcode. They went back to his Fort Lauderdale home to call her a cab, and he says nothing physical happened.
And then she asked me for the drinks, and I give the drink. I put 2 drinks for one for me, for her. I went to the restaurant, and then one day she put something in my drink, and that
was a pretty bad move on his part. So she said she had kids at a hotel, 3 kids or something, and she needed help. And so he goes to his ATM, gives her $100, and then brings her back to his place. And she asks for a drink, and he gets a drink for himself and her. He puts it down, and then he walks away and leaves and goes to the restroom while she puts stuff in his drink. You know, that's a smart idea. There's a lot of these people, too, that are taking advantage of nice people, or sometimes maybe lonely people.
I feel like a little bit dizzy and stuff like this.
Eddie says he never lost consciousness, but felt disoriented. And then the woman began acting erratically, and she left.
And then I went to get my telephone. My telephone was not here. My wallet, I had my wallet.
He says she ultimately cleaned $6,000 out of his account and at some point took a picture of herself. Luckily, the phone saved it to the cloud and Eddie had access to it.
When I went to the iPad, she took a picture of her face when she took my telephone.
And now he hopes this will be the clue that lands her in jail. So the picture of that woman is pretty clear. If you recognize her, Eddie is hoping.
Maybe there's more to the story, because Miss Honey said, why take her to his house? Just call a cab. Now I would have called a cab for her right there. That's true. Maybe he thought something else was going to happen. It's like, oh, you come over, come hang out. Who knows if it's exactly how the story is being told. BTS said devil's breath is huge in the States now, especially with prostitutes. Yeah, we got to check it out. We're going to check it out. It reminds me a little bit of Cardi B, because I remember Cardi B said something along the lines of that back in the day. She was like, I don't know, I guess drugging men or something, I believe. I don't remember the exact quotes. I don't know if she was ever caught. Another story. Oh, this one's from May also. This has happened everywhere, and this is all Florida stories. So this one happened in Delray Beach. Another one.
Thanks, Mike. Now to a warning from police about men being targeted.
Men being targeted. Imagine that, right? Oh, it's gotta be cautious, man. Gotta have your eyes open, be aware. It used to be a thing where it's like we're telling women, hey, be careful when you go out. You know, I used to tell my family, be careful when you go out, watch your drinks, whatever. Yo, guys, men, you gotta watch your drinks too.
In the entertainment district in Delray Beach.
An investigation is underway after a man was allegedly drugged and robbed.
Tori, that's not a woman, that's a man.
By 3 women. Ari Height has the story.
This certainly isn't the first time police have heard about somebody putting drugs into somebody's drink, but usually it's men doing it to women.
Right.
Now the roles appear to be reversed.
It's changed, man. Hey, equality. Times have changed, man. Now the men are the targets.
Anybody can be a target. Atlantic Avenue in Delray Beach. It's one of the most popular spots for bars and restaurants in South Florida. Now, it appears to be a popular spot for women to commit crimes against men.
He was walking back from Atlantic Avenue, and they stopped to ask directions, and one thing led to another.
This woman asked us to not identify her, but says the tenant in her Delray Beach Airbnb was a victim over the weekend. Delray Beach police confirmed 3 women in an SUV asked the man to take them to a bar. He got in the vehicle, even accepted a drink from the women. That's when...
Isn't that crazy? 3 women in a vehicle. It's like the come up. It's the come up. And a guy probably being approached by 3 women in a vehicle is going to be like, hell yeah. Maybe, I'll jump in. You need help? I'll take you there.
And they stopped to ask directions, and one thing led to another.
This woman asked us to not identify her, but says the tenant in her Delray Beach Airbnb was a victim over the weekend. Delray Beach police confirmed 3 women in an SUV asked the man to take them to a bar. He got in the vehicle, even accepted a drink from the women. That's when he started feeling woozy and passed out. The property owner says her security video shows the women bringing the man back to his cottage.
And stayed here for 3 or 4 hours while they unlocked his phone and went through all his personal information on his phone.
And using that, they stole thousands of dollars, his phone, his Rolex. Delray Beach police say they are investigating this case along with others just like it.
It's not surprising at all.
Andrew Scott is the former Boca Raton police chief and currently runs a security consulting company. He says women drugging men is not uncommon in places like Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and now Delray. He says the truth is men are easy targets.
Their ego gets in the way.
Simps.
They're pleased that a woman would want to come up and chat with them out of the blue.
Oh my God, it's a miracle. She's approaching me. Yes, today's my day.
But in fact, what's happening is they're being targeted.
Scott says men need to learn the rules women have lived with for years. Be suspicious. Watch your drink at all times. Don't accept a ride from a stranger, even if she's really good looking.
Don't think it's all your looks that has something to do with it. It could be a bit more nefarious.
And the property owner of that Airbnb says she has shared her security video with the police here in Delray Beach, hoping they can eventually arrest these women. In Delray Beach, Ari Height, WPBF 25 News.
And I bet you there's men that this happens to, they don't even talk about it. Maybe they're just like embarrassed. Yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting like on the stream, I'd appreciate it. Thanks. Gracias. Here's another quick one too. This was in Hollywood, but this one's kind of, this was from 2020. I mean, you see, I guess this is more common.
And now, a night out turns into a nightmare.
Just be careful. People could have been hurt.
There are some people out there that aren't good.
After a man's targeted by a dangerous duo.
Damn.
Well, he says he woke up to find his car keys gone and his nearly $40,000 watch missing. As 7's Nicole Insalata shows us, police are using a clue on camera to track down the crooks behind the crime here.
We were going in the lift. She said she had like a girlfriend coming. No, like none of her friends never showed up.
And that was a red flag to this 28-year-old man who asked not to be identified. He met the young woman at Live in Miami back on January.
Oh, Live. I've never been to Live, but I've been to South Beach. I think like once. That place is so overpriced. I can't stand South Beach. So overpriced, so overrated. I guess it's like a tourist area. I never want to go over there. I never want to go over there. But I could imagine too, if you're already drinking, if you're under the influence, if you pop some pills or whatever, it'll be a lot easier for somebody to approach you and take advantage.
February 27th. She said her name was Carolina, and they bar hopped before ending up at his friend's house in Hollywood.
And I like either got drugged and fell asleep or just fell asleep.
When he woke up, his Tesla keys were gone. A nearby security camera shows the woman leaving. The car unlocks as she walks by.
Thank you.
Moments later, an unidentified man shows up. He opens the unlocked door and snatches the victim's $36,000 Rolex watch, like this one, which was in the car's center console. Police believe those two were working together.
It's always important to be aware of our surroundings and be aware of our belongings. As much as we want to think that everyone out there is good, there are some people out there that aren't good.
And the victim is out a very expensive
Cardi
watch,
B, right?
which also has some sentimental value.
It's like the first real gift that my mom gave me. It means a lot to me. Just be careful, because this could have turned out a lot worse. Like, people could have been hurt. It's not a good situation to be in.
Yeah, men are probably super easy targets. For sure. It might be maybe harder to target women because it seems typically men are more thirsty, from what I've seen. Thirsty as hell.
So once again, this woman, it's a pretty clear picture that we have of her. And again, she called herself Carolina. If you think you know anything about her or the other man who was seen in that security video, give a call to Broward County Crime Stopper.
I thought that was kind of interesting. There's people in teams out there. In teams. Targeting men. You got the one thing with the vehicle with 3 women in there. You got this woman with the other guy that comes after and takes the car and the Rolex. Did he take the car? Took the Rolex. Flipped around. And so, especially people with kids, moms, dads, tell your sons, man, it's not just the woman being targeted, the guys too. So this is another really recent story. And for the people that joined recently, this is just a morning stream to say good morning, you guys. I'm sharing a couple of interesting, quick stories. Today at 5 p.m. Eastern is going to be the main live stream. When this live stream ends, it's going to redirect you to the 5 p.m. live stream. So just set a reminder and hit like if you wouldn't mind when the stream ends. So this is just a little appetizer. Later today is the real live stream. So there's some sort of virtual kidnapping scam apparently going on. I don't know how you would do this. I would think that these people would probably have to know the people they're targeting. They have to know some sort of information. Let me play this clip for you.
And now, on just one station, a couple worried their daughter was in danger.
It was horrible.
After receiving a concerning call.
I'm gonna shoot her in the effing head.
They're off.
Heaven says, guys, by the way, hey, Heaven, guys, stop taking drinks like women. Same way we can get free drops. So can easiest trip eyedropper. Eye drops in liquor and crush. What does the eye drop thing do? Can it kill somebody? Does it make them high or something like that? I heard about that, like eye drops. What does that do?
Offering words of warning.
It's your worst nightmare.
About the scary scam.
The scammers were even able to make it look like the call was coming from her phone.
As 7 Sheldon Fox tells us in this exclusive, they're not the only victims of this kind of bad call.
It was horrible.
Didn't think anybody else would come. As they watched their favorite show Saturday night, a Fort Lauderdale couple got a call from who they thought was their daughter. Her contact info showing up on her mom's iPhone.
Hello?
I swear to God, I'll shoot her in the head.
It's your worst nightmare.
The mother, who asked we not identify her, said she also heard commotion in the background and a woman crying.
I got her. I'm gonna shoot her if you call the police.
I'll blow her head off.
Almost like an out-of-body experience. You really can't believe it's happening.
The caller demanded money.
Do you have Zelle?
And I said, yeah, I have Zelle.
$1,500 is what the caller wanted, said the family. But just before they sent that money, they decided to reach out to one of their friends in law enforcement. And he said, don't do it.
And he answers and says, it's a scam.
Their cop friend told the man of the house they were victims of a phone scam. Their daughter was called and turned out to be home, safe. They filed a complaint with the FBI. The feds wouldn't be surprised.
Can kill, right?
Virtual kidnapping, or spoofing as it's called, is a common problem.
It's definitely in the portfolio of Homeland Security investigations.
Deputy Special Agent in Charge, Derek Gordon of the Department of Homeland Security in Miami, says criminals can get your info online and make it look like they're calling from your number.
Yeah, you can do that. I used to have an app that could do that. That I could literally dial somebody and make it look like I'm either dialing from their number, so your own number will appear, or if I know your contacts, I can make it appear like, let's say I'm your brother or sister or your best friend calling, stuff like that.
Tricking a loved
There's
one
apps that
or
do that.
anyone else.
There are services out there that you just download the app on your phone, and you can just type in the number you want showing up as on the caller ID. If I want to call you and I want someone else's phone number to show up except for mine, I just type that number in.
He says if you get a call like that family in Fort Lauderdale did, call law enforcement.
Call them immediately with as many details as you can and try other means to get a hold of that loved one.
I'm hoping that somebody else, if they get a call like this, will know.
It might be hard to track that down. This was another one too. This was old. It was 2020.
Only on Local 10, an Instagram influencer saying he was drugged and robbed of his.
All right, we're gonna watch this one, and then I want to get to the scopolamine, Devil's Breath. I think it's called Devil's Breath, right? I'm trying to look for a good one. I'm afraid to play the Vice one because I don't want them to try to claim the video. I don't know if Vice would claim the video. Well, the Vice one is too long anyway. I'm looking for like a short one. I see one that's like 5 minutes long or 4 minutes long. Just to give us the details of the Devil's Breath. Let's check this out.
Rolex.
And Local 10 News reporter Ian Margot is live now in Miami with our exclusive tonight at 11. Ian.
This is a story we hear so often here in Miami. A guy meets a girl at a club. They leave together. And the next thing that guy knows, he doesn't remember a long period of time, and thousands of dollars of his belongings are gone.
I've got a smile on my face, but it's not all good, but positive vibes still. It's 2020.
Max Wyatt is from the United Kingdom, but spent his new year in Miami. The 21-year-old is a social media influencer with more than 620,000 followers on Instagram alone. So on New Year's, after partying
Space.
all
I've been to Space a couple of times back in the day. It was a fun time. The whole area around there is pretty sketch. They have like a little second floor that like the rooftop opens, and if you're there till like morning hours, you can see the sun like coming up, and it's pretty dope. You know who the people are that are there at 5, 6, 7, 8 in the morning.
night at Space Nightclub in downtown Miami, he thought he was just starting off 2020 on a high note when he met a woman outside.
Both made eye contact, and I thought,
everybody's wearing sunglasses. The whole club is dark and everybody's wearing sunglasses. You know what's up.
This girl seems pretty cool, and we were chatting away.
The two left from the parking lot next door and drove off in her car. She suggested they go here to the Starlight East Motel in Brickell. Problem is, that's the last thing he remembers.
Thought I got lucky for 2020, and I woke up at 2 p.m. and my watch is gone and my phone.
Turns out that woman had slipped something in a drink they had when they got to the motel, waited for him to pass out, and then robbed him.
I actually kind of slapped myself in the face and was like, am I in a dream or something?
His watch was a Rolex GMT Master 11 Batman, and according to a...
Jesus, my watch is a Walmart watch that I actually really like, and I've gotten a lot of compliments under $100. Doesn't even work. I just wear it because of the color and the style. That's it. The battery. I need to get the battery fixed.
Quick internet search, it's worth upwards of $15,000.
They're not getting much from me if they snatch me up.
And the phone was a brand new iPhone 11. Now, City of Miami police are investigating, and Wyatt is just trying to enjoy the rest of his time here, albeit a little more carefully.
It's not put me off Miami. It's just, I guess it's a lesson learned, really.
Pretty positive attitude for someone that just went through that. So again, City of Miami police now looking into this case. If you know anything that can...
Yeah, I've never been a flashy person. All right, let's get into before I even talk about this guy over here. Let's get into the Devil's Breath, scopolamine. I think this video is short. Hopefully it gets to the point and explains it.
Basically, what is happening here is that we have this spiritual tree that has been used for a while for our indigenous people, and now it's turned into a very, very, very bad weapon against people just to take their belongings and stuff like that.
Imagine a drug that can transform you into a zombie slave, that can leave you completely
This is from like Colombia, but they're saying it's going around everywhere now.
at the mercy of a robber who can empty your bank account, steal all your possessions, and possibly worse. The drug is easily extracted from nightshade plants. It's tasteless, odourless, and can be swiftly mixed into drinks, food, and cigarettes. And the worst thing, once you're under its spell, to the outside world, you seem completely conscious and aware, so no one really knows you're in danger.
Bro, this shit is wild. If you never heard of this, you should check out the Vice documentary on this. I'll play this video off, but this one surprised me when I heard about this. Devil's Breath, scopolamine.
This demon drug is called borrachero. Ask any Colombian local about it, and it's a safe bet you'll get a chilling horror story in return.
Probably like 15 years ago in Bogota, that was a real issue. One time it happened to a friend that he got in a cab and then he just felt dizzy, and he willingly came in with the people and helped them carry all the stuff, and they robbed the stuff from his apartment.
If you're interested in travelling to Colombia, chances are you've seen Vice's documentary about Devil's Breath. It shows the gruesome effects of the drug through the stories of several victims, as well as criminal perpetrators who admit on camera to drugging and murdering people. It quickly became one of Vice's smash hit documentaries, and it's not hard to see why. The thought of such a powerful, mind-controlling drug and its potential for criminal abuse boggles the mind.
This is called the seed, which is very similar to an avocado, but it's full of small seeds, and this is used to produce scopolamine as a drug to assault people or kill people.
But the questions we have to ask are: how common is the threat of borrachero? Who is likely to be targeted? And as a traveller, what's the real risk? At time of this publication, the US Department of State produced an unofficial estimate of annual borrachero incidents at approximately 50,000, although it doesn't list where this figure is actually from. This works out to be roughly 0.1% of Colombia's population being affected by the drug each year. It reports drugging with substances like borrachero as a common and
It's from 2017.
dangerous method to kidnap and rob people in Colombia. The primary targets of borrachero attacks are men at nightclubs, with attractive women as the chief instigators. However, many cases have been reported of women being drugged by men and later robbed and sexually assaulted. Either way, there are some extremely sinister forces at play here, and you have to have your wits about you. Even away from the salacious nightclubs, borrachero attacks do happen in the more common restaurants and bars, and even in broad daylight on buses and public transport. However, these incidents are a little less frequent. The most important thing you can do is be vigilant. Be wary of strangers approaching. Keep a really close eye on your food and drink. If you didn't buy it, don't touch it. If you bought it, don't let it go. So what do Colombians think about borrachero? Is it a common problem? And what's their advice for a safe time in Colombia?
Borrachero or scopolamina, for me, is not a threat. I heard stories about it. I heard that you lose your will.
Personally, after living here for 6 years, I've never come across it. I've heard stories about it, so I think people need to be careful and aware of it, but I think it's been sensationalized.
It's ridiculous how many people have seen that documentary about borrachero in Vice. So when they come to Colombia, they think they're going to get robbed as soon as they get here, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But reality is very different.
For many travelers, borrachero is a scary topic.
So that's borrachero. They did a Vice documentary that I thought was pretty good. This video is from 2017. If you look online too, just briefly, like a brief look, there have been some murders where that was used. Let me get a bigger screen for you guys. A bigger screen. London crime, the 18 longest prison sentences received by criminals this year. Some of these people used scopolamine, devil's breath. A man and a woman have been convicted of the first known murder in Britain using a poison known as devil's breath. Young woman gets 16 years behind bars over devil's breath. London grinder poisoner killed dancer with devil's breath. The same stuff. So it doesn't seem to be that common, but I don't even know if it's really that easy to detect. It'd be interesting too to see if the government's probably using that kind of stuff. What I would typically think people might be using is GHB. Which the thing with that is if you give the wrong dose or you give too much, you can really kill somebody. GHB. Kind of very, people use it to party, to whatever, have a good time, but see. Yeah, GHB is one of the ones that are used, and also something called Rufinol. So okay, let's get on with it. This guy, I wanted to do the story before. I never got to do the story. Get a different screen. This guy that picked up a 12-year-old boy in Miami. This guy's a total weirdo. This guy's a nut. Let me see which one is the more recent one. He tried to assault the boy. I think he did. And when the boy was fighting back, he shot the kid, I believe, in the head. Some of you guys might remember that story. Roofies. I wonder, what is roofies made of? What is roofies? Is that the Rufinol thing? Roofies chemical name. Okay, roofies is Rufinol. That's how you pronounce it. It's not Rufinol, it's Rufinol. Somebody's gonna comment later. iCkEdMeL.
New details about the man arrested on charges that he sexually assaulted and shot a 12-year-old boy.
And we're learning that same night the suspect told police that he was the victim of a crime.
Yeah.
Let's go to Local 10's Christian De La Rosa live now in Miami with our top story once again. Christian.
Yeah, a bit of a curveball thrown at investigators who tonight are trying to figure out if this accused child rapist may have victimized other children. Why?
I'm thinking this guy did. The way this guy did this whole situation, I don't know if you guys remember this Miami story. I never got to cover it. Maybe one day I will. This little kid snuck out of his house late at night. This guy was cruising around, picks him up, like forces him in the car, tries to get his, tries to do things to him with him. The kid fights back, and then he shoots him in the head. The way this guy did that whole situation, to me, it's like he's probably done this before. He's like a MO of a serial killer or something. A rapist.
It's because across the
And I heard supposedly that this guy, because he's from Cuba, I heard allegedly that in his country he had done this stuff, and he left his country and came over here and started doing the same shit.
street of the building where he lives, there is a children's park and also an elementary school.
Amazing.
And that's the face of evil right there.
Detectives say they're confident they have the evidence to prove 43-year-old Aliex Santiesteban is the man who kidnapped, raped, and shot this 12-year-old.
Shot him, yo. This kid was running out in the street. They happen to be, and this guy's, I believe he's from Overtown, the guy that did the shooting.
Boy in Brownsville over the weekend.
We definitely have DNA evidence that is compelling.
Investigators say the child snuck out of his house to hang out with friends Friday night, and sometime around 2 Saturday morning, Santiesteban pulled the boy into his car, robbed him of his innocence, and fired a bullet through his face near Northwest 45th Street and 31st Avenue. The preteen seen collapsing outside a nearby store where neighbors called 911. And new tonight, a twist in the investigation against a suspected child rapist. Not even an hour after the boy was found shot and allegedly raped, Santiesteban showed up here in Miami Beach, where he called officers to report he had been jumped by 3 men and stabbed in the left hand. Detectives are now trying to figure out if this was his attempt at establishing an alibi to show he was nowhere near where the boy was found.
This individual poses a great danger to the children in our community.
In court Tuesday, the man now in jail without bond.
Grabbed him and slammed him on the floor.
This mother, too afraid to show her face, says she saw Santiesteban be cuffed by police outside her building on Northwest 3rd Avenue and 12th Street unaware he was her neighbor.
I'm so scared. Like, I have 2 kids of my own.
Well, we can also tell you tonight that police are still looking again for potential victims. If you know of anyone or have any information, police want to hear from you. And Calvin, Nicole, tonight we also have a lot of our viewers asking us, how is the 12-year-old doing? At last check, he is in stable condition, still at Jackson Memorial Hospital, recovering from the horror that he lived, and of course that gun wound to his face. We're live in Miami's Overtown neighborhood tonight. I'm Christian De La Rosa.
I remember Star, he used to always say, one of the sayings, nothing good happens, I think, after 12. Some shit like that. He used to say that. I was telling somebody that recently, too, that saying.
Right now at 5:30, police say a man accused of
involved in that robbery
drove to Miami Beach after allegedly shooting that boy and shoving him out of the car.
That's where he called police to say he had been injured during a robbery. Local 10's Terrell Fournette live with more on this. Terrell.
Yeah, that suspect told detectives that there was a gun involved in that robbery, but police at this point do not believe that his story adds up. They believe that he was trying to cover up what happened minutes before. And there was another neighbor here at this apartment complex where that suspect was often seen. They say that he saw him just 2 days ago pull up to a dumpster, appeared to be cleaning out his car, throwing items away. We're now learning Aliex Santiesteban was injured on the night he's accused of abducting, raping, and shooting a 12-year-old boy. You can see a cast on his left hand. Detectives now believe that after the bleeding child was seen on a corner store's surveillance cameras in Northwest Miami-Dade seeking help and collapsing, Santiesteban raced to this block on 10th Street in Miami Beach to the home of his ex-girlfriend, eventually telling police he was the victim of an armed robbery, but offered cops at the time no location or suspect description.
He looked like a crazy guy.
Crazy for sure. Dude looks whacked. But I've seen his Facebook and some of the videos he had on there. He was like kind of being normal and stuff. If you guys want, one day we'll get into the story and we'll look into his background, and it might be an interesting one. For the people that just joined, we have a live stream today at 5 p.m. Eastern. After this video, after this live stream ends, it's going to take you over there automatically if you're on YouTube. So just stay. Once this ends, it'll take you there and hit set a reminder for today.
Sometimes look like it, so crazy.
This resident is convinced Santiesteban was trying to create an alibi. In fact, that neighbor says he noticed the man acting strangely around a dumpster the day before his arrest.
The last Monday, I saw him put it the parking the car right here, and then take it off all the garbage from the car, put it on the cam.
That same black car and a gun, police believe, were used in the crimes against the child. They were confiscated the very next day at Santiesteban's apartment complex in Miami's Overtown neighborhood, along with other bags of evidence.
There's nothing in his history that would connect him to a crime of this type.
Santiesteban has been arrested in the past for aggravated assault and resisting arrest, but those charges were ultimately dropped. Today, we spent the day tracking Santiesteban's history, but he appeared to be a person who kept to himself, even inside of his very own building.
When I go my job, I saw the news. Oh my God, that's the neighbor.
That's that crazy motherfucker I saw.
So right now, Santiesteban is being held in.
This story was from a couple of months ago. This was posted March 31st. I believe this was a couple months ago. So I might do a live stream on this guy one day, and we can go in depth from start to end and look at some of his posts and stuff and see if there were any allegations. Because a friend of mine was telling me supposedly there was rumors that he did this back in his country, and so he left over there because they were coming after him. So he came over here to do what he was doing over there. Now, let's see, we're at 40-something minutes. I think I'm going to skip this video here because it's not that interesting, this one. So 2 more things for this morning. First of all, let me do this quick PSA thing, and then we'll get into this video about this hotel, which was interesting. This was posted July 2020. I have the synopsis of the story. There was these women that were in a hotel, and the clerk gives the key to these random people, and these random people come up to the room to get inside. And when I looked online, there's been a lot of stories like that of people staying in hotels, and I don't know, either people being given the wrong key. There was even a story where a woman was raped. The clerk gave somebody, a random person, the key to the room, and then the person got in there and they raped her. But let's do this real quick first. Yeah, we can do this. Maybe I'll do this. So this was posted May 14, 2021. Scammers target families who post missing persons on social media. So the FBI warns the public of scammers seeking to extort family members of missing persons. These actors identify missing persons through social media posts and gather information about the missing person and family to legitimize their ransom demands without ever having physical contact, with the missing person. I'll read the methodology. While scammers use social media to target victims, while scammers' use of social media to target victims is known, its use to extort vulnerable families of missing persons is lesser known. After identifying a missing person on social media, scammers research details of the disappearance. They probably watch my videos. The missing person and the missing person's family. The scammers often obtain telephone numbers for the family members on social media and use third-party calling, which is kind of what we were just talking about a little bit earlier with this whole virtual kidnapping thing. Third-party calling or messaging applications to make ransom demands to disguise their true telephone number. The criminal actor generally requests $5,000 to $10,000 in ransom, with $7,000 requested in multiple instances. FBI investigations indicate these scammers use social media or networks to identify, initiate contact, and gain access to families of missing persons. Generally, offenders do not offer proof of life. However, in one instance, an accomplice made telephone calls to family members claiming to be the missing person. Damn, they're actually pretending to be the missing person. Offenders often claim the missing person is ill or injured, adding to the urgency of the situation, hence just the video we just saw at the beginning of the stream. Offenders often claim the missing person is ill or injured, adding the urgency of the situation and putting additional pressure on family members to pay the ransom. Since the onset of COVID-19 nationwide stay-at-home orders, law enforcement has received several reports of scammers targeting families who have posted on social media about their missing family members. So people need to be aware of that. I'll put this link in the chat too. If you want to share or post that anywhere, or if you know people that have missing people, friends or whatever, just be aware of these types of people. There's always going to be people like this targeting vulnerable. They could care less about somebody missing a family member. They just want to make some money. So they give 3 examples. I'll read these 3 examples and then we'll move on to this weird, creepy Miami hotel story. Let me get a little sip. Okay. In August 2020, a mother reported her 13-year-old girl as missing. The family used social media to ask for assistance and posted a personal telephone number, which individuals claiming to have kidnapped the daughter used to contact the mother, demanding ransom. The girl had not been abducted and eventually returned home on her own. In May 2020, a father reported his son missing to law enforcement. The child's family created a social media post seeking assistance in locating their child, after which the child's father received a text demanding a ransom. And then we got another one. In May 2018, a family reported an 18-year-old woman missing. Local media reported the disappearance and family members posted a request for information on her disappearance to social media along with personal telephone number. Individuals claiming to have abducted the woman contacted the family telephonically and the provided personal phone number. One of the scammers claimed to be the victim and spoke to family members saying they were drugged, threatened with physical assault, and taken to another state. Subsequent investigation revealed the missing woman was never abducted and eventually found unharmed. So, FYI, they're even targeting families of missing persons, right? Oh wait, did I lose my video? Where'd it go? Okay, here we go. Now this story, this is the final one that I want to share with you guys. Let me pull up the, I had a screen with the information. Here we go. So I don't think I'm going to play this entire video because it's kind of long. 27 minutes long. We'll see how interesting it is. But the story is Jessica, Amanda, Robin, Sherry, Chayla, and Marikal were staying at a residence inn by Marriott Miami Airport. In the middle of the night, their room door was suddenly opened and two random men opened the door asking for Jessica. One of the women was up and told them to leave. When the woman went downstairs to figure out why the hotel clerk had given these random men key cards to their room, the men were still there. The man apologized and asked to take the woman on a date to make up for the inconvenience. In the discussion between the police, the woman and the police, it came out that the men had tried to tip the clerk $100 when he gave them the key. The men also told the clerk that they would need cleanup sheets sent up to the room. Wow. Thankfully, the woman survived the incident without any physical harm. This could have ended up very badly. And so this is part of the video I'm going to play for you guys right now. I came across this randomly. This was posted by Dose Vibes on YouTube. I came across this randomly because I was kind of researching one day these things that are happening at hotels and people being raped and trafficked and all that kind of stuff. And there's a whole thing with this hotel thing that's going on. You can look it up on YouTube. There's a bunch of different videos and news reports on hotels.
Yes, I'm 400 hours now. So, the situation is, this is a girls' trip. It's all females. Our front desk rep allowed two men to have a key card to our room and come upstairs in our room while we were in the room.
But no identification.
No identification.
No asking for no last name.
He did not. They told them Jessica, a random name, which is my first name, no last name, and he gave him a key card to our room. Mind you, this isn't the first incident because earlier, her mom, who's sick in the hotel room, that we're constantly on the phone with back and forth while we're trying to enjoy ourselves on the trip, said that somebody was trying to get in the room early, and she had to lock the door. She had to put a lock on it, and we wondering like why the key card is not working. We came back down here and asked for another key card. This was prior to this last situation that just happened around 3:15 while we're upstairs in the room. And they walked in the actual room, two men, one with a mask on. I didn't see them because I was in the room, but they're asking for me. Now, once we even came in contact with men on this trip.
And they didn't even know who she was because they walked in the door and was like, "Are you Jessica? Are you Jessica?" They didn't even know who she was.
I don't even know who he is or who the person is.
I don't even know what they look like.
I asked him, did you even get his ID before you gave him our key card to our room? We have so much designer expensive stuff up there. And not only that, it's COVID. We're not even asking for room service to be in the room. That is dangerous.
And I can't stand it with the hotels right now. It's such crappy service. I guess they want to say COVID, but they're still charging more than before, and they're not even doing any kind of service in these places. It's actually creepy. The last hotel I was at was I was with Maddie. It was a little creepy because when we were up on the floors, there's no hotel people walking around anywhere, and it was like these long, creepy hallways, and I don't know. It was kind of weird.
You know how much human sex trafficking and everything is going on? And you gave somebody access to our room just off Jessica in this room. I could have sat in the lobby just randomly and listen, oh yeah, what room y'all in? We going up to this room. You didn't even get an ID or anything. I asked him for his first and last name. He gave me the first name. You don't even want to cooperate, but you gave somebody a key card to a room.
We also asked him, did he take the key? He said yes, and then turned around and said no. So, excuse me, I'm sorry.
We can't hear you.
I can record. It's a free country.
Inside of this private property,
You cannot
somebody in
a key
to our
card.
room where it's all women. So let's not get technical when you were in the wrong.
Let's not try to start following all the rules.
Stream end? What just happened? Did I get dropped? Let me check real quick. No data. Give me 1 second. I think I got dropped. There we go. I think we're back up. What just happened? I think I lost Facebook. Let's see. That's so weird. Are you guys still here with me? What just happened? Let's see. Facebook shut down. Yeah, Facebook ended. That sucks. All right. Let me send the link real quick to Facebook, and then we'll continue. Hopefully I didn't lose everybody. Hopefully I didn't send everybody to the other thing. Let's see. Create post. Wait to come back and watch the rest. Okay, so I put the link on put the link for Facebook in case they want to come back. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Maybe the connection dropped, flickered. It's a good thing that I came up with this little safety net of turning off auto end the stream when the connection has the issue, so we can come right back up. No idea what happened, but we're here. I put the link on Facebook for people if they want to come back. Speaking of hotel thing, where we give people just 1 second to come back. When I was staying with Maddie in this hotel too, the other thing that was weird, that kind of creeped me out, there's no hotel people walking around this place. The hallways were just like these long, narrow hallways. It was a really nice hotel. The service was crap, overpriced, ridiculous. But the other thing too was that the phone connections weren't working. I couldn't make phone calls. And then there's Wi-Fi. And it says no data again. Let's see 1 second. Can you guys see me, or is the connection screwed up? Let's see.
So.
Okay, you guys should be able to see me. But yeah, so there was no phone. The phone connection didn't work. Barely. I was trying to make phone calls. It kept dropping. Then they offer you like a Wi-Fi thing, right? And so you can connect to their Wi-Fi. But even the Wi-Fi was like very, very bad signal. And then I started thinking to myself, like, if something were to happen while me and Maddie are in this hotel, there would be like nobody I could call. I wouldn't be able to dial 911. Like the phone wasn't working. The internet wasn't working. The hallways are like empty and like vacant. It was bizarre. And I had that thought in my head. I was like, what if something happened? Or what if somebody comes into your room and tries to catch you off guard and attacks you? There's not much you can do. So the hotel thing is kind of creepy, you know?
Y'all pause, all right?
Okay.
Her right over here with you. Y'all pause. Let him talk. I'm trying to get the story.
Okay.
So,
once he had said that, I had told him I do not have sheets down here at the front desk. I will have to call my security officers to have my security officers bring them up to the room for them. So then after that, I had gave him the room. Then he pulled out $100 in cash and placed it down right over here. And I looked at
You sold us.
Whenever y'all look through the camera, you will see that. He pulled the cash, he put it right over here on the table. And I looked at him and I was like, what is that for? And then he was like, I'm just over here tipping you. And I was like, $100? I was like, do you really need change, or like, are you just tipping me $100? He was like, I'm gonna speak with her to see exactly what she wants to do. And I was like,
that's so weird.
Tipping you. I looked at him and I was like, I looked through the camera, you will see that. He pulled the cash, he put it right over here on the table. And I looked at him and I was like, what is that for? And then he was like, I'm just over here tipping you. And I was like, $100? I was like, do you really need change, or like, are you just tipping me $100? He was like, I'm gonna speak with her to see exactly what she wants to do. And I was like,
sold us for $100.
Wow.
I did not take
I've been here
it.
since
I didn't take it from him.
I don't care if you
the room
took it.
number, y'all interfere, I'm gonna need y'all to step back. I need to talk to him now.
Okay.
So, the room number that you stated, that was your room. listed as person.
The Walsh. Hey, I feel you. Oh, the chat's not updating. Oh, it is. It is updating.
You matched the first name?
7335.
It's more of a convenience for her. Yes, let's say she wants to get a key for the promotion left, right? As long as you can match her name, we'll give her a key for
7335.
You only need a email check. That's the only time it's required.
Your budget?
I already checked in the room.
Yes, I'm checking it.
So if I come in here, I get her name and her room number, you give me a key to the room.
My first name,
Yes, I'll send you very
No,
fine.
it's our policy, not just yours. This policy said, if I come in here and say her name, y'all can give me a room key to her room?
That's more information than typically.
You keep putting on. I can't read it. The 22 7349.
Nobody's supposed to know. So that's the whole thing. The fact that somebody can match both of those information.
Right, you get them back for the dot, provide a room key.
But he just said my first name. He don't even know my last name.
He said Smith.
He said Smith. That's not my name.
I mean, you're 42 North 6th Street. You're 42 North 6th Street. Apartment 2.
Can't really hear what they're saying
It's going
either.
to be a domestic dispute.
Hey, Alexa. Good morning.
Involving an Hispanic male, 41 years of age. Pending number of Bertzel at 406 7335.
My security officer walked over here to go ahead and bring the sheets, and then I got a room from
Me, I called because the two guys walked in our room with their key. The other girl who was with us, she was laying on the couch. I was in the bathroom. I heard her talking to someone. She says, "What are y'all doing in here? Who are y'all?" And they like, "This not 3602. I mean, this not 3604." And she like, "No, who are y'all?" And they kind of backed out and left. I came out the bathroom like, somebody was just in here, and she told me, yeah. So I thought that multiple keys work for multiple rooms. So I called downstairs and says, two guys walked in our room. Why does their key card work for our room? And he said, and that's when he told me,
She has the floor right now.
Exactly what he told me that that's funny because two guys came down here, asked for Jessica and gave me your room number and I gave them a key. I said, wait, you gave them a key to our room? I'm coming down. I hung up the phone with him and I came downstairs.
Who's Jessica?
Me!
Jessica,
I
right?
came downstairs. The two guys were right there. It was me and the other girl who's upstairs right now.
It's my sister.
She said, we came downstairs. We're trying to figure out why he gave them a key to our room. The guy said, what's your name? Talking to my friend. He said, what's your name? So obviously he doesn't know Jessica.
I have a question too.
And she like, what you know? She ain't never answered.
But
And
I
he
just
said,
have a
your
question.
name you Jessica? And I'm like, no. But my thing is, why are you looking for Jessica? And
That's true. So I'm saying, like, what happened? What was his response?
he was saying, he like, I'm sorry, it shouldn't be an inconvenience. I'm sorry, I didn't apologize. I didn't mean anything. Can I take you on a date to accommodate? Can I take you on a date to accommodate that? Can I make it up to you?
That's weird.
And I'm ignoring him totally because I'm focused on why he would give anyone our room key. He had not once seen us walk in here with no guys.
No man has been here.
And my name is.
We never. No.
I don't even know what they look
We've
like.
been on a
My
private
name is on the
yacht our whole
reservation.
time
I put her
here.
name on there as so she can have a key card. So initially, he shouldn't even be giving a key card to a male. If I put her name on there, I can see if a female came down here and say, "Well, I'm Jessica and I need a key card," but you gave it to a male that's asking for a female's name.
But not only that,
And my name is
You
the
just
original
said
name
Jessica.
on the
where is the
reservation.
last name basis for you to state a key?
Is it like right? Can it be more than one Jessica in this hotel?
Exactly.
But he's saying it's not just Jessica.
He said the room number.
Exactly.
We never came in contact with any men. We've been on a private yacht since we got here.
And facts is, it's cameras all through here. You haven't seen
Not one man. You can run the cameras
I've been
back.
here since last
No
Sunday.
men.
I hear you on that, but that's not up to him to monitor that. That's
I
you
understand that too, but it's not up to him to give someone our room key if
With
they're
just
not
the
named,
first
not
name.
listed on our room.
Which we gonna address. Now he operate based on policy. At the end, at the end of this, if it's an issue, nigga, that's something you gotta take up with corporate him as management.
We will.
That's what
I already
you have to
contacted
do.
my lawyer.
Right. So they can
For
adjust
sure.
it. Because Like I said, if you saying that's a policy, I personally,
it don't make sense. And can we see the policy?
And then for them not to even.
So you're saying it's a policy? What?
I personally adjust it.
We will. I already contacted my lawyer.
Right. So they can adjust it. Because, like I said, if you saying that's a policy, I personally,
it don't make sense. And can we see the policy?
And then for them not to even know who she is my whole thing. How are you asking for her and you don't even know who she is and what she look like?
Y'all can't talk while he talking. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Come on, that's not making sense.
I want to post something for the market. Let me just give you my room number and my last name.
They never gave you the last name.
Just as long as I say 3402 and the name match, that's it. As long as you give me
No first and last. They asked me for my last name, and my name's on the reservation. I came out here and talked to the lady this morning.
So someone that's not listed on the reservation charge.
There's this super sketch hotel that's local that a friend of mine was telling me about. And when you look in the reviews, you can see a lot of the bad reviews. Place is really run down. It smells. I've heard there's a lot of sketch things that go on over there. My friend supposedly told me you can hear sometimes people screaming, like women screaming. I thought it would be interesting to stay there for a night. I don't know, record the whole situation, walk around, explore. I don't think I'd do it by myself. I might hit him up if he wants to go. Because the thing with that hotel too is what I heard is sometimes like they like rent the rooms as apartments, I think sometimes, or they let people stay there for prolonged periods of time. I forgot the name of it. And some people live out of those rooms, or they just stay there for a very long time. And it's just creepy, from what I heard. That hotel. That might be a video I'd do sometime.
Next to the room.
Let's say the name, because let's say someone come in.
Yeah.
I know. But let him talk when they're make us move. They already asked us to cooperate. So just do that.
Just post it to the room like you're required to. Like they're required to just go ahead and do it. So this became a problem because of the whole situation up there. I didn't match first name and last name. And I do absolutely agree. I was negligent on this whole situation.
He's saying he was negligent.
I did apologize to you guys. And there really is absolutely nothing I can say.
Until he don't talk
sorry about the situation. And then after the whole situation happened, the gentleman did come down to the front desk. Then while he's coming down to the front desk, my security officer was standing right here next to me. And I had spoke to the man and I was letting him know, you just gave me the name of this room. You gave me the room number for this room. And now, why is this person saying that this is not who you're here to see? Then he gave me a different name of Smith. And then saying that there's a Smith that's here. I want to go see him. I look up the Smith and I'm like, this is a gentleman.
Because he's trying to guess your last name.
No, this is the person.
Why wouldn't you call the police?
He asked for multiple last names.
But it didn't.
Go ahead and make sure the mom speaks as while I speak with you. So
Okay.
before she went up,
Smell fishy.
and I called her and I told her, let me speak with you before you head up to the room.
So this wouldn't ring a bell for you if somebody came in and said, Jessica, I'm here for Jessica in this room and I need sheets.
Long-term extended.
This is upon your entry, I need sheets for Jessica? And then he doesn't even know who I am because he asked them, are you Jessica? Are you Jessica? Are you Jessica?
He don't even know who she is.
What is the obsession? You don't even know me.
Yeah, that was after he don't win upstairs.
Morning, Flossie.
But when upon the entry, he's asking for sheets, and he at the bed. Oh, I'll give you $100, but he asked for a discount for parking. But you got $100 tip.
Get tip. Come on, this
I
so.
don't know about all that, but I understand.
The cameras will show and I did not accept that.
It doesn't matter.
The cameras, you just told us you
didn't
didn't even show us.
$100, but you released the key where it's all females, no men. You should have called the police. This is a random person coming in asking for sheets off back. It's so much sex trafficking and everything. Not once have you seen us come here with men. You've been here in and out while we injured. You sat here
Several
at
times
this
I've
desk.
seen you.
You've never seen men come in with us.
But again,
That's
not for him to
It's
monitor.
not his issue.
But if anything,
But
for all he
but
knows,
that
he
would.
probably call a dude. For all he knows. And
then
know that. That's not
we don't know. For security purposes,
based on the policy that they have in place.
For security purposes, they should ask for a
On
last
the policy,
name.
it tells
Just like
you
they asked
first
me.
and last name, but he gave him the key and he just told him Jessica.
But that's what I'm getting to.
Let's get technical.
And he admits that. He said that's what he messed up at. The old man, see my thing? That's not his job to monitor. But he did mess up on that part. He admits to that. And that's when you can dress appropriate if you want to pursue it.
Exactly. I also asked him for his last name. He wouldn't even give me that. But you gave me a key card to somebody, gave somebody a key card to my room.
That's how you fully identify a person. Because there's a lot of people with the first name, same first name.
So you have a policy to protect you, but not the guests? I'm real confused. Now, Jessica would have been slaughtered in sheets.
Because if something would have happened, then the story would have went another way. You'd have been, I don't know. I don't know how you got the key.
Jessica. How do you even know my name? I'm not trying to say anything, but it sounds like this was like a setup, like he had something.
But what is your policy? I want to know.
That's only my assumption.
I just want to know what's the policy for a person that has a reservation and that puts a person on their reservation just to allow them to get a card. So a person that has a reservation, which is my name is primarily on it. I put her on there, right? So why would it? If I put her on there, then she should be the only one to be allowed to get that key card, correct?
I agree with you, but their policy is different.
No, that was
I'm asking, what is your policy for us?
I can guarantee that's not their policy.
They did hospitality.
So, okay.
Before you come into the hotel, we always ask for our guests to give us the name of the business we want to be coming to check in. Let's say you couldn't come in time. Miss Jessica's coming in to check in.
Which is another female, yes.
To waste your time up here at the front desk. So as long as you put her name on the reservation, Miss Jessica will be allowed.
So I'm saying, I understand that. I totally understand that. But I'm saying, with me putting her on the reservation, does that allow another person to come in and ask for her name for you to release the key? Is that under your policy? Is that acceptable? Is what I'm saying.
I will have to double check with it.
Oh, okay.
Double check right now. You mean double check? Check right now, Bill.
I had to get my ID for the key card, so I'm confused.
You're gonna have to double check. Check that shit right now. Pull it out.
As to why
he can just come in and say your name.
ID. And I asked you what did he say his name was?
You didn't even get his name.
Give me no
wow,
information,
it's
but it
crazy.
was so easy to hand over the key.
Just give him a key.
You treated me like I'm the problem when you should have called the police when somebody walked in the lobby.
When you came down here, I was nothing but sincerely apologizing to you. I never treated you like you were the problem. I said from the very beginning that we are sorry for everything that did occur and that we did not do anything.
Yeah, you're right. I just document everything you said I saw.
Because I want to place a police report because I need it for Attorney Hollis. Because I already contacted my lawyer because that's a lawsuit. You just allow a random person who came in asking for sheets and for my name that couldn't even identify me.
And did not even identify theirself.
Because that's so ridiculous. And then for you to disclose, you waited till the officers got here to even tell all of that information.
Yeah,
I sat up here and asked you what
everything that happened. What
say.
happened? Nothing. You didn't tell us nothing. You didn't. Yeah, after you, girl, boy, that should have been the first things that came out your mouth. That's all I'm saying. Correct.
It's under her name, but they came for me. My name is on the room as well. Exactly.
It's nothing.
If somebody come down to the hotel and they say they want to speak with James, James doesn't have a room number to match with the name. You call James up and let James know this person is here to speak with him. But if James gives the name and the room number, if he doesn't want to go, call the person and let him know, hey, this person is down here to see you.
It's hard to hear.
You want to come down, you come down to see. As long as the person don't have a name or the room number, then we cannot access to. Okay. As long as because no one should be able to have someone's last name, first name, or room number to handle it. Once you have that information, it's just the person should be already keep family members on know because people fail to know the information. If we have family members too, like let's say if her cousin came to visit but only Miss Reed name is on the reservation. But her cousin knows she's in the room. If he give us her name and her room number, but it's under Miss Reed and the correct reason, we won't let them see her. But the fact that her name was under there, we would let them.
He asked for your name. You should be the only one allowed to get that key card.
Exactly.
Only. You should be the only one. That's why I put your name on there. I didn't put nobody else's name on there.
Shit, it might be. Who knows?
You guys have, we're gonna need you guys info to do
My ID is upstairs.
Do you have a picture of that? Thank you. How long you guys are here for?
They've been here till Sunday. I'm leaving tomorrow. Well, we're leaving, the three of us. Oh, we're all leaving tomorrow. Yes. This was a girls' trip. That's why I'm like real confused. This is like
Where you guys coming from?
Chicago. I'm from Chicago. Me, my sister, and my sister's best friend. We're all from Chicago. They're here from Detroit.
Every time I come here, I meet somebody from Chicago. That's interesting.
Okay.
And ma'am, this is your current address?
Yes.
So, I guess we could stop the video. Let me see if there's anything else that happened.
For the officers. Will his name be listed on our report? Okay, because I need that.
Yeah, okay,
The security officer as well, right? Because they both are down here as witnesses to the situation. As far as letting the people in, I just want to make sure all of the names, everybody. Okay, thank you. 87. Need the.
This has something to do with the policy.
Exactly.
Okay, so basically I'm just going to document it on a report about what happened today, and that's it, you know?
Okay.
Unfortunately, there's no crime committed here. Okay, it's just mostly like a civil issue. So this report is just going to be, you know, it's going to be in favor of you.
It's just kind of wild that this guy actually gave the key to these two guys. I think it was two guys. And the guy's like, tip also $100, and we're going to need sheets. You know?
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
And then, are we gonna get a key card? Did you guys change the key card?
Oh,
Okay, that's it.
That please.
Anyway, we try to help them out.
You guys do room complimentary for the night. Any other, anything that you guys want us to help.
you saying you wanted?
What is the whole thing where I wanted to give you guys options, but then you said you do not want to speak with me any longer, ma'am. You called the police.
That's not answering the officer's question.
I want to offer you guys something.
But are you?
Our question is, can you change the key card, deactivate the cards that you released?
Just ask me. I'm just ask me kids. They're not
Yeah. Can you accommodate us? That's what we're saying. You saying you want to?
You said you wanted to. That means that you're not going to do
You guys
it.
have your own policy. I gotta respect the policy here with the company and all that. But
the question when he said that,
Okay.
I thought he meant of
Don't go back and forth with him.
So if you just went for the key,
Queens.
I would like to say escort them up to the room.
Oh, another young lady. Another young lady. Thank you. No problem with you, but it's just like
Exactly.
How do we feel safe now? What do we at all? I feel uncomfortable.
Walking in this hotel.
Exactly. That's wrong. And then for you to not even try to accommodate us or nothing, it's just it's sad.
You wanted. Keywords. You said wanted. Oh.
Well,
What's your name?
yeah, I think that's it for that. For people that are just joining, this is a story about, this happened, I think, July 2020, where these women were staying at Residence Inn by the Marriott Miami Airport. And in the middle of the night, the room door randomly opens and these two guys are asking for Jessica. And this is kind of led up to where it's at now. They're upset because, you know, the guy down there like let these guys get the key without ID. And and he was just mentioning random names until I guess he came up with Jessica, and he tipped the guy $100. And so they were very upset. And there's a lot of, when you look online, there's a lot of different stories that I saw of people having stuff like this happen, where the hotel clerk is giving keys to people's rooms that shouldn't have it. There's actually been some lawsuits. There's one here from 2019. New Jersey woman settles lawsuit alleging hotel gave her room to a man who raped her. Like, it happens. Check this out. I'll show this real quick. By the way, for the people that just joined, once this stream ends, just hang out here for a second, because the stream is going to take you to the 5 p.m. stream today. So just set a reminder and hit like once you go there. And later today, I think at 5, it's going to be, I have one story that we're going to focus on, and we're going to do a little deep dive. Who's that? This article from 2017, hotel safety, 7 rape cases in 7 years after front desk give away room keys. Like, it happens a lot. And so, I'd be pretty pissed. You really got to go to these hotels with some sort of safety option. Somebody could just walk in on you randomly at night. And check this out. The ironic thing with that is this one, a lawsuit filed in Bakersfield, California last year, which article was posted 2017, alleges that the rapist bribed the front desk employee with $100, which, with the story that we just saw, the guy gave the clerk $100, to a guest room. The perpetrator was noticeably intoxicated from drugs and alcohol. Another story, early in the morning, I think this is a different story. Early in the morning, 2014, Sherry awoke in her hotel room to a hand on her leg. A man was standing at the foot of the bed. It's creepy ass shit. So it happens. There's plenty of stories. So anyway, I think that's it for the stream. Thank you guys for joining me this morning. Appreciate it. I'm going to prepare for the 5 p.m. stream. Just hang around after I hit end. It's going to take you over to the other one. It should. I don't know if it's going to mess up now that I restarted the stream. I should actually double check real quick to make sure we have that set up. Let's see, redirect. It's still there. Okay. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Oh, should I read? I should call it. Should I read Star's story? Let me read Star's story real quick, and then I'll end it. Star posted, so I've heard in the past people using GHB, but in recent years, people are using fentanyl. They use fentanyl for surgeries where it makes you semi-conscious. You can still talk. When Maddie's mother had Maddie, she was actually on fentanyl. She was like very out of it, but she was somewhat able to talk. You can still talk, but you won't make sense or remember it. It's obviously highly dangerous. People have put it in friends' drinks at clubs. One, just for fighting a guy. Watch your drink always. The cop who drugged me got a bottle, so I thought it was safe, and the bottle had been drugged. I took 2 small sips, and I think when I was going to the bathroom, once there, I couldn't stand or speak. I couldn't blurt 1 or 2 words at a time every few minutes. I could hear and see. They got a blurted manager. They got a manager. He came in 2 times and said I was drunk. Next night, manager said I was drugged by cops, which I already knew given prior to their convo with me. They were trying to raid the club. It had been raided 2 times before in Miami. Wow. So yeah, thank you guys for joining. I'll be back later. I appreciate the support. Please hit like on the way out.